We have some massive news coming out here. The Los Angeles Lakers have officially ruled out Austin Reaves. He will not play for the Lakers tonight against the Spurs. This is a massive game coming up, given the Spurs are the number 2 seed at this point. This is a roster, the Spurs specifically, a team that you're going to most likely play when the playoffs come around. And, over the next 5 to 8 years, as the Lakers are in their championship runs, the Spurs are going to be a team they're going to have to go through every single year. I almost feel like these two teams, the Spurs and the Lakers, are going to be two teams that are going to battle it out over the, for which team can potentially win the championship over the next 5 to 8 years. And obviously today, it's not as big as a championship game, but it's still an important game for the Lakers to kind of figure out if they can beat the Spurs and kind of where they match up in terms of being able to cover a guy like Wemby. I'm excited as hell for this game. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Now, of course, Austin Reaves will not play for the Lakers, and I think that really does suck. Because not having Reaves out there, at this point, he's your number 2 option. He's your number 2 ball handler. He's also your number 2 scorer, right? Or I'd say he's the number 2 most reliable scorer for the Lakers. When Reaves is out there, you can pretty much guarantee 24 points every single game. He'll also do a really good job with the passing and those type of things. On the other side of it, unfortunately, Reaves is out. Luka Doncic is healthy, right? And this one was kind of reported, yesterday, I think late evening. Luka was not on the injury report for the Lakers. So we already knew he was going to come back. We already knew he would end up playing for the Lakers. But I think that one's big, right? Because when you're going up against a team like the Spurs, you want your best players obviously available. And I know for the Lakers right now, Austin Reaves is out. But still, being able to have Luka out there, who is obviously managing his own injury, right, which was why he did not play against the Trailblazers. I want to see Luka go out there and once again dominate. I want to see how he looks against a team like the Spurs, who have Wemby, who's a really good defensive player down in the paint. I also want to see how the Spurs match up against Luka, and I think that's going to give you some insight for the rest of the games this season, but even as you go into the playoffs. I think it's going to give you some insight into how the Spurs are going to attack Luka. It's kind of going forward. Also, not having Austin Reaves is going to also open it up for some other guys. I want to see if Nick Smith actually hits and gets into that rotation a little bit. 25 points against the Trailblazers. We knew someone needed to step up, and he was the guy that ultimately stepped up. And the guy had a really, really good game, right? And he's one of those guys that's super confident. He goes out there. He's not the type of guy that's not going to try scoring. Nick Smith's going to try to score. And remember, a former first-round pick, only 21 years old. He still has so much potential and upside. And I want to see if he actually cracks the rotation again today. Given Luka's healthy, and I know Austin Reaves technically isn't healthy, so he should technically crack the rotation. But I want to see how often he plays. Does he overtake minutes from Dalton Connect or, Jared Vanderbilt? Maybe Vanderbilt plays a little bit because you have Nick Smith who plays a little bit more. And, Smith's not great on defense, but, he puts the effort in and he does a pretty good job as a defender. And I think for the Lakers, man, you're going to learn a lot about this team today against the Spurs. Now, also, just kind of keep in mind, Wemby's going to be the talk going into this game. In fact, both Jackson Hayes and DeAndre Ayton were asked about Victor Wembanyama, and I want to share with you guys kind of what was said, and then we'll talk about this on the other side.
Yeah, shoot. We played him last year and the year before. It was you still see the stuff he's doing, and it's unbelievable. He's 7'5" doing what frickin' Luka does. It's crazy.
It's like Luke. He's playing against on-star player. He's unbelievable. He's truly a once-in-a-generation player, and he can do everything. Dude, his size is so nimble and so fast and quick with or without the ball. It takes the whole team to guard him. So that's the fun part about it. He's having everybody involved and not really leaving no man on the island with him. That's where he finds his green lights and his open spaces to really, shoot over guys or manipulate the game with his size. So, it takes the whole team to really lock in and have a good personnel form.
There you guys have it. Basically, both of these guys are saying the same exact things about Victor Wembanyama. And I'm not surprised that this is what they're kind of saying, right? Wemby is a different type of basketball player, right? He's just different the way he's built. As Jackson Hayes said, he's 7'5" and he does things that Luka Doncic does. But he's 7'5" essentially, right? And we know the type of player he is, a really, really good basketball player. He's averaging 26.7 points per game right now, 13.7 rebounds, 4.7 blocks, which is absolutely incredible. And just the way, Wemby plays defense and impacts a game, it's, you can't really talk about it. You just got to watch him play and kind of watch what he does. And of course, DeAndre Ayton kind of also understands what this guy does, right? He's calling him a generational player. It's going to be a huge game that I'm excited for. We'll see what ends up happening as that game kind of comes around. I also do have a couple more updates that I want to just share with you guys. I want to show you guys this video that's kind of trending on social media. And maybe I'm old, but I find this hilarious, to be honest with you. Luka Doncic is going to essentially prank Maxi Kleber, and he's basically going to put the blame on Jackson Hayes. You guys see that obviously Luka he's a jokester, right? He likes to mess around, and we know this type of personality Luka has. I think this is why he's like so loved inside the locker room. Like, people like his personality as a player. He's laughing, he's having fun. When I saw this yesterday and I saw it was kind of trending, I just found it hilarious. So I obviously wanted to share it with you guys. Not a huge deal. Did find it funny. There are a couple other things I want to get into. So this report just came out by Shams. Apparently Utah's Walker Kessler is undergoing season-ending left shoulder surgery for a torn labrum. Now, this doesn't really impact the Lakers because he's not on the Lakers, but a lot of Laker fans wanted the Lakers to go get out there and get Walker Kessler. And I'll be honest with you guys, even for me, this was a guy that I personally really liked. Thought he'd be a good fit. Even last year before the trade deadline, he was kind of like a trade candidate that the Lakers could potentially get in the offseason once again. And even now, some people still think the Lakers should go out there and bring him in. Now, obviously, Jackson Hayes has kind of come on strong the past couple of games. DeAndre Ayton looks like one of the best big men in the NBA right now. And I think Walker Kessler doesn't make sense at this point. And given he's about to undergo season-ending shoulder surgery, he's not going to be with the Lakers at this point. It is kind of unfortunate for him because I always felt like he was a really good basketball player. He's high IQ. He can score. He can play defense. I always felt like this was a good potential fit for the Lakers to kind of pair up with like Luka and LeBron. Obviously, that's not going to happen at this point, but I did want to just talk about it because this is unfortunate for him. And let's wrap it up. Just a couple more updates. Today, the Lakers plan on celebrating the Dodgers World Series championship tonight at their game with the Spurs. And of course, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, Tyler Glasnow, Hernandez, Blake Snell, and Phillips are all expected to be there as well. So you got some Dodgers players, winning the World Championship coming in. They'll be obviously watching some Lakers basketball. And of course, the Lakers will also be kind of, celebrating it a little bit as well. So kind of expect that. If you guys watch the game on NBA League Pass the way I do, I'm in the Sacramento area. I'm like 45 miles north of Sacramento. I don't get the Lakers games on TV, so I watch it in the NBA app. And usually, watching those games, you get to see all of like the, like the stuff that's happening live on the court. As I think if you're watching the game in Los Angeles, it probably goes to commercial break for you guys. But you'll get to see a lot of this stuff, right? As they kind of give those shout outs to the World Series guys. Not a huge deal. Just wanted to point it out. Finally, this one's kind of interesting as well. Anthony Davis, a lot of people have been talking about him recently. 307 days have passed since the trade, which that's pretty wild. I did not realize it's been over 300 days since the trades happened. But thinking about it, yeah, we're definitely approaching a year. We're about 2 months away from that point. But here are some key stats since that trade essentially happened. You guys can see that between Luka and Anthony Davis and just kind of how the trade's, been favored, the Lakers have gotten such a better return on their value, right? Return in terms of you're getting a guy that's productive, you're getting a guy that's healthy, you're getting a guy that's actually playing. On the other side of it, Anthony Davis has missed 27 of the 41 games that he could have potentially played with the Dallas Mavericks. And, I do hope that Anthony Davis can get out of the Mavericks. And, I think the Mavericks, I know they have Cooper Flag and he's supposed to be the next superstar caliber player, but I'm just not sure if it's going to align with the prime of Anthony Davis, right? How many years does Anthony Davis have left at this point? And I know he'll play for a long time, but like how many prime years does he have left? I hope Anthony Davis gets what he wants. If he doesn't want to be with the Mavs, hopefully he's able to get to a team that's going to chase a championship. Maybe he comes back to the Lakers. Who knows? probably doesn't fit. But I did want to just show this to you guys because I feel bad for Anthony Davis. I loved Anthony Davis. I think he's a phenomenal basketball player. And he came to the Lakers. Every day he showed up. He did his thing. And it's unfortunate that it never really just worked out for him with the Mavs up to this point, right? Maybe it'll work out. Maybe they'll end up having a lot of success as they go forward, as he gets healthy. We'll see what ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We are going to be covering the Lakers on this channel. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will see you guys next time with another video.